Hey, what's up YouTube? Drew Manchu coming back at you again with another face-to-face video. This show is my combination of reviews and comic book hauls each week, and I sit down, I look you guys right in the eye, and I let you know what I thought about these books. First of all, with my independent haul, I only picked up one title, and that was Rick and Morty number 25. I was picking this up religiously at first, and I have kind of trailed off of that. I would like to go back and pick up some of the issues I missed, but I had to have this one because on the cover we've got Tiny Rick! And Tiny Rick is one of my favorite characters from the Rick and Morty universe. This book is absolutely hilarious. There's a backup story with Jerry. I haven't gotten around to reading yet, but the Tiny Rick story at the beginning is pretty fucking great. So check that out. I was a big fan of that. And I also picked up the variant cover. I saw this variant cover and I absolutely fell in love with it. You got Morty holding Snowball there. The art style is really, really cool. I dig that, and happy to have this in my collection. I had a limited amount of DC titles this week as well, and I picked up Teen Titans number 7. This is a battle with King Shark and the rise of Aqualad Part 2. Was not a real big fan of Teen Titans number 6, and I have to say, not a huge fan of number 7 either. I do like the fact that it's a more Damian-centric story with him leading the team, but I'm finding that the writer doesn't have a great grasp on his character, and his dialogue comes off a bit stilted. Beyond that, the art is quality, and it's a pretty fun read. I just, some of the dialogue choices I'm not really a huge fan of. I like to see Damian in most books. Damian's probably my favorite DC character, and right now he's making Nightwing great. He's doing a great job in Super Sons. When he shows up in Superman and Peter J. Tomasi writes him, it's absolutely pitch perfect. And, I'm a little disappointed in the Teen Titans so far. I'm going to read the Lazarus Contract crossover with Deathstroke, and then after that, we'll see where it lands. Detective Comics number 955. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of the art in this issue. Didn't really care for it in the last issue either. I think that Detective Comics has done a great job over this last story arc of making Batman look like a bitch, and that really isn't that much of a factor in this issue. This is an issue about Orphan coming into her own and showing how great a warrior she is. There's some great character moments with her and a girl who basically takes her in and tries to patch her up after the last encounter with the League of Shadows, and then she goes off to save the entire Bat family. The story is now set up for Shiva to take on Orphan and the Bat family all at the same time, so obviously the Bat family is going to come out on top in the next issue, but somehow they all got unchained, and that wasn't shown off panel, and a little bit of a plot hole there unless they go back in a flashback in the next issue, and I don't know why they would. This is another so-so issue in my opinion. I did like the stuff with Orphan, but then again, the overarching story is just meh. I don't care. We're waiting to see what happens with the Button in the main Batman story, and that's tying into the DC Rebirth overarching themes, so I think that that's the book to read if you're looking for a Batman title. Action Comics number 978. Now we finally figure out in this book who the glowing Matrix Red mystery villain is in Action Comics, and it's the final reveal in this book, so I will not give that away. More Superman mythos. That being said, after the Superman Reborn, we're back to the same old holding pattern as far as the overarching Rebirth themes are concerned. So hopefully the Button gives us something. I think that we'll see where that goes. He does address the fact that Mr. Oz is a factor in this book, so that's baby steps. Baby steps. For the main event of DC this week, I picked up The Button Part 2 in Flash number 21. This lenticular cover is pretty great. If you guys watched my video last week, you know that Batman 21, The Button Part 1, was a little underwhelming for me. Now, Jason Fabok's art I thought was great, and the panel layout homage to The Watchmen was fantastic, but as a starting point for a story, it gave us absolutely no information at all. Conversely, I did not care for the art in Flash 21, but the story was what the Button Part 1 should have been. It gave us a great start to this story arc. So hopefully they get things going quickly in the next 2 issues. I think it's only a 4-issue run. They wasted the whole first issue doing nothing. And the second issue got us started. So I like Flash 21 better than Batman 21, even though Batman 21 was so beautiful to look at. You know, the Button started off a little underwhelming, and it's starting to pick back up. So this is definitely a must-read if you're checking out the Rebirth stuff. So, you know, why am I even telling you guys to go pick it up? You probably already did. Now on to my Marvel haul. I picked up Matt Rosenberg's Rocket Raccoon number 5. This is the end of this story arc where he's tussling with Kraven the Hunter. Some great art in here, real nice style on that, and Rosenberg's writing is top-notch. He's doing some really great stuff with Kingpin right now. He's also running a great series for Black Mask called 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank. Definitely suggest you guys go pick that up. But Rocket Raccoon was real solid. You know, nice quippy Rocket dialogue. The end of this issue is telling you to check out Rocket number 1, so I guess this series is relaunching. I hope that Rosenberg is still on board with that, because I enjoyed his take on Rocket, and I really liked what he did with the tertiary characters as well. But, you know, if not, you know, this is a nice, good miniseries. Pick up this 5 issues Rocket Raccoon series, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you'll enjoy it. If you like Marvel funny books, this will definitely be up your alley. I picked up Ultimate Squared number 6. Al Ewing is doing a great job rewriting the Marvel cosmology. We've got the cosmic entities, warring realities, eternities and chains, and in this book we find out who chained eternity and why. If you are not interested in the Marvel cosmology, then I would not bother with this story at all. If you are interested and you haven't picked this up yet, so I would say go back to Post Secret Wars, pick up Ultimates number 1, read through that entire series, and then start reading Ultimate Squared. This story arc right here is pretty phenomenal, and I enjoyed where it went, and we're left off on a bit of a cliffhanger to see where things go with this cosmic war. So I'm excited to read it, and I think it's worth a pickup. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 18. I absolutely love this title. Lunella Lafayette became an Inhuman, and every once in a while she switches brains with the hulking, monstrous Devil Dinosaur. They go on great adventures, and it just so happens that Lunella is the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. This story arc has been called the smartest one there is, and this is the final issue. Now, we all know Doctor Doom is the infamous Iron Man at this point, and he is no longer the King of Latveria. His face is fixed, and he is no longer a bad guy. But his Doombots are still running amok, and Lunella is on a quest to find out why and how to stop it. Over the course of the last few issues, she has teamed up with numerous heroes throughout the Marvel Universe, and through making these friends, she has learned things along the way. One thing she has learned is that she cannot do things herself, and she calls upon all of these friends to help her out in the final battle with the Doombots. You have the totally awesome Hulk and the Thing. The X-Men show up to help out. Doctor Strange is there. It's a really great team up of all her friends she's made along the way. This book is perfect. Lunella Lafayette is one of the most relatable characters that Marvel's put out in years. Everybody talks about the diversity that Marvel's put out and all these new characters they're just forcing upon people. Nobody's forcing Lunella Lafayette on me, and she connects with me perfectly. Great stories, real heartfelt, great art. Reader and Montclair have been doing a great job of this series since issue number 1, and I think that Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is a must-buy each month. If you're not on this book, you need to check it out. Give it a read. Try to look into what's going on with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, because it's phenomenal stuff. I picked up Thanos number 6 by Jeff Lemire. This is the last issue in the first story arc. Thanos is dying, but he's not willing to go out quietly. He's been arrested by the Shi'ar Guard and sent to a galactic gulag, a maximum security facility that is set to self-destruct if anybody tries to escape. You know Thanos, he ain't having that. So he goes ahead and he kills every guard that has beaten him and humiliated him. And on his way out, the place self-destructs and he gets away scot-free. And he heads for home. Meanwhile, his son Thane, stripped of his power, wants revenge on Thanos. So he steals the Phoenix Force egg from Terrax and imbues its power. We're set now for a showdown between father and son, like something you've never seen before. Thanos is going to die at the hands of Thane. Or is he? The way this book leaves off is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to read the next story arc, as it has a really interesting perspective on the character of Thanos. So check this out. I think it's definitely a must read. Speaking of the Phoenix Force, I picked up The Mighty Thor number 18. This is about the battle between the Shi'ar and the Asgardians, and as the Shi'ar gods find their defeat, they decide to call upon the Phoenix Force. And you can see Quentin Quire on the cover there, one of my favorite mutants of all time. Now, during Brian Michael Bendis' Battle of the Atom, it was foretold that Quentin Quire in the future would have the power of the Phoenix Force. Kid Gladiator, who was also part of that storyline, has told Thor that they need Quentin Quire, and she goes to get him to help out. Anybody who knows Quentin Quire knows that he's in for things for himself, and anybody who knows Jane Foster Thor knows that she does not have time to squabble and barter with the likes of Quentin Quire. So there's some real interesting dialogue in this book, and I really like the things that they're doing. Every month, this is a must-read for me. Mighty Thor, number 18. Good stuff. From Quentin Quire on to more mutants. This right here is Old Man Logan, number 22. By Jeff Lemire. We talked about him earlier on Thanos. Great writer. Love the stuff he's doing in this book. Now, Logan is hopping through time, living out moments of his history through his younger self. In the last issue, he got popped right into his first appearance, where he fought the Wendigo and the Hulk, and we get some of that battle in here. We also get some of his early days with the X-Men and the Dark Phoenix saga as well, before he jumps into yet another timeline. So I definitely enjoyed this look through the past lives of Wolverine and Old Man Logan, and I really think it's interesting stuff. The art is not really up to par with what we were getting from Andrea Sorrentino, so it's okay. It's highly stylized, and I enjoy it, and that's enough. Weapon X number 2, we get some great stuff in here with Warpath. More fights with the weird Weapon X adamantium-laced cyborg people between Old Man Logan and Sabretooth. And, overall, I enjoyed where this story's going. It was a little slow to get started in the first issue. One thing I will say is I found the art by Greg Land to be thoroughly underwhelming. I don't know if he was rushed on this, but I've been liking what he's been doing with Cullen Bunn's Uncanny X-Men book. But, this right here was not what I was looking for. So, it's all right. Nothing to write home about. If you're in for all the new X stuff, definitely pick it up. If you're not, it's missable. I also picked up X-Men Gold number 2. This issue is still drawn by Syath, who was fired off the X-Men title for his shenanigans in X-Men Gold number 1. I didn't find any hidden messages in X-Men Gold number 2, but I really did enjoy this book. We got a little bit of a battle between the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and the X-Men. We get a meeting between the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the head of the X-Men, so we get to see some Cap and Kitty Pryde talk there, and Old Man Logan goes ham at the end, so there's some good stuff in here. Definitely worth picking up. I have been liking this book so far, and I'm going to continue to read this. Finally, from Marvel, my favorite X-Men book, and that's X-Men Blue number 2. We get some of the backstory between Jean Grey and Magneto as to how they came to team up and why they're stationed in Madripoor. We get some drama with Iceman not being able to get in touch with his boyfriend, who's not returning his texts and his calls, so there's some interpersonal drama. We get an apology scene between Cyclops and Beast. Scott apologizes to Hank for judging his use of magic. We also get some foreshadowing in there that magic may be a bigger part of what's going on with Hank moving forward. And I kind of dig the fact that they're going to do some sort of story arc where he goes too deep into the magic. Normally, Beast's hubris is based in science, so if his hubris can also be based in magic, that could lead to some interesting situations for the team. I did like this book, and moving forward, I'm definitely going to be picking this up. So I think that you should be reading X-Men Blue. Fantastic stuff. It was a bit of a light week for me, guys, so it did go a little ham in the back issues. Picked up some dollar issues of Batman and Detective Comics, and hopefully I'll be able to put together another video haul for some back issues very shortly. But I did pick up one variant cover that I left behind last week because of the price point, but I absolutely love this cover and I had to have it. This is the 1 in 50 Secret Empire #0 variant. You can see all the villains on the cover there, and Zemo holding the broken cosmic cube. Absolutely love the art on this issue. I didn't even take the time to see who did the cover, but I super dig it, and I got it for a great price, so I was very happy about that. Hey guys, that's it for this face-to-face video. I'm glad you guys took the time to watch. Make sure that you're out there collecting what you love, sharing what you find. I'm Drew Manchu. I'll see you guys next time.